Hello, friends. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you live on St. Nicholas night. Hopefully, St. Nicholas will be leaving you some treats in your shoe. We're going to leave you some winning sports bets in your shoe, and the Krampus monster will be coming to see the bookie. We'll go ahead and get right into it here. We got quite a lot to talk about. We entered play this morning up 95.43 units. We got clipped Tuesday. We got carried out. It was not a good night. Um, Last night we got most of it back, so we're about right where we started on Monday. So keep on following us over at Uncle Andy Sports on Twitter as well as Facebook, and you'll keep getting all of our plays. I don't think I'll add too many more plays as we go over the weekend than what we're going to go over here tonight, but you never know, we might come up with something. We do have a little juice reducer money line parlay with college hoops tonight to kind of cut down on the price of some of these hockey props going to talk about. I don't like doing a lot of these juice reducer parlays with college basketball simply because college basketball is so fluid. And, I know we saw things in college football this year. We've seen things in the NFL where huge underdogs win. You had NIU beating Notre Dame. You've had some other crazy things happen. In basketball, though, those sort of situations are much more prevalent. You're much more likely to see the 17, 18 point underdog come in and beat maybe the number one team in the nation, certainly a top 10 team in the nation. That's just the nature of basketball. And also because they play so many games. The more games you play, the greater the opportunity something crazy like that is going to happen. So we certainly don't want to get too involved in any of these money line parlays. But I do like UW Milwaukee tonight, and I like Arkansas State. Put together, they're a minus 290. That's a pretty good price. And it does have an implied probability of hitting of 74%. Another reason I feel so good about Arkansas State money line is because I made most of these bets on MGM, but over on DraftKings, they're not even taking action on Arkansas State money line. So that was an encouraging sign for me as well. So we're going to go ahead and take UW Milwaukee and hook it up with all these NHL plays, starting with the Jets and the Sabres second period over. They're a combined 34 and 17 on this prop. The Avs and the Canes third period over. They're a combined 41 and 10 this year on that prop. The Preds and the Habs third period over. They're a combined 38 and 13. The Red Wings and the Senators third period over. And you can see the book agrees with me. That's why some of these props are so chalky. I don't normally like laying chalk on these money line juice reducer parlays. The idea is to reduce the juice, but we're reducing the juice on some of these props from minus 250, minus 275 down to 114. So while it's not an ideal situation, it's better than risking a dollar straight up to win maybe, what would that be, about 50 cents worth of profit on some of these NHL third period props that are a minus 250. So you'd have to risk 250 to win a dollar. We don't want to do that either. So I think this is probably the best way forward. But anyway, the Senators and the Wings in third period overs this year, they're 34 and 15. So all these are hitting at a clip of about 66%. I do also love the third period over in the Sharks and Tampa Bay. They're hitting on this prop at a 36 and 15 clip. I'd like to talk about the Sharks for a moment and the Bolts. Um, Tampa Bay's price, I should say, is like minus 350 in this game on the money line. So in other words, for Tampa to win, they should win, probably will win, might win. You got to bet 350 to win a dollar. That's not a good bet. Moreover, don't count the Sharks out. You see a lot of upsets in hockey. You see these things happen a couple times a year where a favorite that's almost minus $4 loses to somebody like the Sharks. The Sharks, by the way, have won four of their past five games. I'm not saying the Sharks are going to go in there and win. That's not what I'm saying. I think the Sharks are live, and I don't think it's a good idea with Tampa to lay the 375, 350, wherever you see it, just to win a dollar and win the game. You got to put yourself in the mind of these athletes. Tampa also is probably discounting the Sharks, just like all your money line parlay people out there tonight. They're just throwing Tampa on there for a few extra beans. And this isn't week one college football, Colgate going to play Tennessee. There's a real chance these are professionals. There's a decent chance the Sharks could go into Tampa and win the game. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's not worth the price paying straight up on Tampa. So we'll get back to it here. Jackets, Edmonton, third period over. That's hitting at a clip of 36 and 13. I do like the Kraken plus the goal tonight against the Islanders. I like the Kraken to win the game, but the price on the Kraken on the puck line plus the goal and a half in this juice reducer parlay, that's a good price. I like the Blues and Calgary to stay under 6.5. That was a plus money payout here in our parlay. I do like the Avalanche going down to Carolina on the puck line, getting a goal and a half. Carolina has hit the skids lately. Their goalie, Freddie Anderson, he is out for an extended period of time, and the Canes' next man up has not happened. They've been losers of three straight, so I like the Avs. They've turned it around a little bit since the very slow start they had at the beginning of the year. So we'll take the Avs on the puck line at a pretty good price. I also love the Panthers and Flyers to go over 5.5. Tease that down a little. The aggregate in their last 5 games between these two comes up to 6.3 goals, and they did play a few weeks ago and scored 7 goals between them. So we'll go ahead and take the yes goal in the first 10 minutes between the Canes and the Avalanche. And that is hitting at a 36 and 15 clip for these two teams. So those are all of our props. I think you would also do well if you didn't want to risk it with UW Milwaukee and Arkansas State in hoops. You could probably mix and match a few of these things and still come out ahead. We've got some singles and maybe, a couple things we've combined, not with a juice reducer parlay, but we have got some elements of that here with like UW Milwaukee, combining with the under 58 in Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky tomorrow night. I love this play. This is going to be my play of the weekend. If you're going to take any one play I'm going to give you here tonight, this would be the play, the under 58 in Jacksonville and Western Kentucky. These two teams have been under teams all year. They just played last week, and the score was like 19-17. They didn't even sniff the over. I don't see why anybody would think these two are going to score 58 points between them. So under all day on this. Moreover, I do like Jacksonville State to win the game, and I do have them here in sort of my next little parlay. Jacksonville State was a little chalky by itself on the money line, so I went ahead and had to combine it with the Eagles, the Buccaneers, and the UC Irvine Anteaters tonight in college hoops. I also love Boise State tomorrow night. I like a lot of the college football games here in these conference championship matchups that we're going to see this weekend, but I do love Boise tomorrow night. I think they roll. Just to kind of reduce the juice a little bit, I went ahead and took the Avs and the Canes to go over 4.5 as well. Boise by itself on the money line was like minus 180. So throw this NHL prop in there and it saves me 60 cents. Moreover, if for some reason this Colorado Carolina game wouldn't get to 5 goals tonight and that wipes this bet out, I've still got time to come back tomorrow and pair Boise with something else to sort of make up for because I love Boise tomorrow night. I also like the Miami Redhawks on Saturday. They have won and covered the last 2 matchups with Ohio, and really it's a good quality program up the road there in Oxford that Chuck Martin has put together. I'm going to fade a lot of people on this and go with Iowa State over Arizona State. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I've seen and heard and read about a lot of respected cappers who are taking the Sun Devils here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just like Iowa State. I also love SMU against Clemson. I just don't think Clemson's offense is going to be able to keep up with the Mustangs, and I think SMU rolls. There's also a playoff bid on the line for SMU. Clemson, I think they would still get in, I guess, with an ACC win, but SMU, they're really pumped up about this. Like I said, I just don't think Clemson's going to hang with SMU's high octane offense. I also love Oregon against big game James Franklin, who does not show up in big games. Again, a very little bit of a juicy, chalky price there on Oregon. So I had to go ahead and throw it in with the Blues in Calgary to stay under 8.5 tonight. And again, if that goes cattywampus tonight for me in St. Louis, Calgary, I've got time to come back and pair Oregon with something else for the weekend. Do some NFL here. I like a lot of what I saw in NFL. I do have a prop on touchdown scoring boosted by DraftKings. So we went ahead and took Montgomery tonight for the Lions. Kyron Williams for the Rams. He was good to me last week. Jamar Chase with the Bengals. And Najee with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boosted, it's a plus 861. So we did hit last weekend over Thanksgiving on a touchdown parlay. So we're going to try it again. I do like Green Bay tonight in the points. A lot of people will say, well, the Lions, beat them at home in Green Bay a few weeks ago. And that's true. But it was in a raging monsoon. That was a different Lions team. They've been eaten alive by injuries. So I'm going to go ahead and take Green Bay in the points. And to reduce the juice on that, I went ahead and took the Buccaneers this weekend money line. I do love Seattle, Arizona under the 47. I teased it up a couple points. I just liked it better that way and hooked it up with the Eagles for a minus 115. But I think you would be okay with Seattle and Arizona to go ahead and take them just with the straight up under 44 and a half. The last three matchups between these teams have gone under. And moreover, these teams are 13 and 10 this year to the under. So I like it. Another bet that we've talked about, not for a while now, but the no three unanswered scores in NFL. As you can see, both of these are going to be plus money payouts. So what this means is that no team is going to go on a scoring run where they score 3 touchdowns in a row, 2 field goals and a touchdown in a row. In other words, I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. And I really do think we're going to see that in this Chargers game with the Chiefs and the Packers-Lions game. That's not necessarily going to be a shootout, although they could be. But I think it's just nobody's going to get like a huge advantage. Speaking of which, I do like the Chargers against the Chiefs. I think the Chargers keep it close. The Chiefs have been living on borrowed time. They've been skating by with the skin of their teeth and a little help from the referees. And I think their luck just sort of runs out here against the Chargers, who are a very good team. They've got a lot to play for. And I think the Chargers keep it close. This Bengals-Cowboys game, I teased the over down from 49.5. I think it sails over by itself at 49.5. But I wanted to tease it down. I wanted to get the Dolphins involved as well. And so I teased the over with the Dolphins winning against a hapless Jets squad on Sunday. Just a couple more tonight. The Oakland Golden Grizzlies in college hoops. I like them minus the 1.5 at home. I like the Montreal Canadiens straight up tonight. And I do like Texas, the Longhorns against Georgia. I could be wrong about this. It's almost essentially a home game for Georgia there in Atlanta. But I haven't liked what I saw out of Georgia lately. Certainly, they should have lost last week against upstart Georgia Tech and Texas. The Longhorns have been rolling. So we're going to go ahead and go with them. We're going to lay the 2.5. I tell you, if you want to get cute with this, you want to get crazy, you want to get nuts, I think you could go ahead and tease the Longhorns on an alternate spread bet and go ahead and lay 5.5 with them, lay 6.5 with them. I think the Longhorns roll. And you'll have time to do that. Maybe we hit on some of this other stuff tonight. You've got a few extra coins to throw around, and that may be a worthwhile flyer bet betting with house money. So that's all for us. Like I said, we'll probably add some hockey tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see what happens with it. Set your shoe out tonight. St. Nicholas is coming. For the bookie, Krampus is coming. So everybody stick with us. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And if you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Have a great night, everybody.